to Two Ordinary Nerds, podcast where Kyle assumes it's fine to fucking interrupt. I'm here by myself today because I fired Daniel.
How you been?
Hey, wait, why are you here? I fucking fired you. As if this
I own 90% of this adventure.
90%. My body doesn't count.
I know. That's why I said 10% is I don't own.
No, but also you don't own any of this?
Nope. So how you been?
I'm good, man.
How was your weekend?
It was good. Hung out with some family.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. How was babysitting?
It was fun. Got to see Spider-Man. It's always nice.
So
what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking a beer called Raspberry Jam. That is from Tallgrass Brewing Company. It's actually not bad. It tastes like Barry Weiss. Tallgrass is it's Kansas, right?
I think so.
I think, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it at all. It has an aftertaste that I just can't get over it.
It tastes like Barry Weiss to me, so I've had that. It's not bad. I mean, I would probably give it like a 2.5.
I'd give it a 1.5.
That's like that beer I bought. The
Nitro.
Guinness Nitro beer.
No, that was not good.
Fuck, I should have gave that like a negative. So, what are we going to talk about today?
I think we're going to talk about Spider-Man Homecoming.
Is that good? I haven't seen it.
I really liked it. So, I'll say, let's get to you Daily Bugle, talk to Jonah Jameson, and figure it out.
Parker! Let's start the podcast! Did you like what I did there?
Yeah.
Get it?
J.J. Jameson.
Full circle?
Full circle.
Full circle. Anyways, this is where we talk about Spider-Man. We're not going to give you a warning. There's going to be spoilers. Well, I guess I just gave you a warning. But if there's spoilers, so if you don't want to listen to it yet, go see the fucking movie.
Exactly. It's a great movie. You know, Uncle Ben dies.
Fucking Uncle Ben dies, man. They always have to show him die, and they always have to show fucking Martha die.
Martha.
Fucking Martha!
So, Spider-Man came out this weekend. It was, I think...
We don't have to say this weekend. It just came out. We saw it finally.
We saw it. But it's... We
saw
it on the weekend.
3 weeks ago.
We saw it on the week of release. On the day of release.
We did actually see it the day of release. Because that's how avid of a fan we are.
Mm-hmm.
Rabid fans we are.
So, it tells the story of Peter Parker and learning to be Spider-Man. He's already Spider-Man. And it's basically leaves you off right at the end of Civil War.
Yep.
So Peter Parker's in the car driving with Tony Stark's to be dropped into back home, and Tony lets him keep the suit, and the suit is, you've seen him in the trailers, you've seen him in Civil War, it's pretty cool, and then it starts him going to school and having like a...
Well, the suit they show, yeah, we'll get into the suit, but yeah, then it goes from, shows him in his high school life after Civil War, and how he is managing being Spider-Man. Instead of, a great way to put this is a bigger twist on Spider-Man than most of the other ones, because in this one, he actually is a high school kid. He doesn't look like a bunch of 20-year-olds going into high school roles. Like, Tom Holland looks like Spider-Man, like a young version. Everyone in there, it feels like a high school movie. Everyone feels like they're in high school.
Yeah, they did a really good job keeping it high school, keeping it low key.
So, him when he gets his powers, or him following him through the process of the movie, it's not just like Tobey Maguire when he has like one scene where he can barely jump across a building. This one is the majority of the movie. Spider-Man doesn't know how to use his fucking powers. Like, he does kind of, but
he knows how to use his powers. I think he's learning the suit.
He's like a klutz.
But it's not like you won't see the typical like other Spider movies of him swinging by Manhattan.
Yeah.
This is more or less like, he takes the subway. He's on top of the subway, and he's like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He, saves, stops petty crime like a theft of a bicycle. He stops a bank scene.
One of my favorite parts is to show you how new he is one of my favorite parts is he's like, "Hey, quit stealing that car!" And he slams the dude's face into the car. He's like, "Dude, this is my own car!" He's like, oh, shit, sorry.
So, like, I think this movie is so good because the story was good, but it was more all the little, like, I feel like it was, like, the Vulture did a great job.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely Vulture in the MCU is definitely top 5 villains in the MCU.
But he wasn't like, I'm gonna destroy the world, or have all these major. He wasn't a major enemy. He really was just stealing shit and selling it out.
Yeah, he's just trying to make money for his family. That's all he cared about.
Yeah,
he didn't even care about going after Tony Stark. Like he had an issue with Tony and everyone in corporatized, but he didn't want to go after them.
He didn't have a problem with Tony specifically, and not against Tony. He had a problem like
corporate America.
Yeah. I've seen like he's the middleman, and he always gets fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he did a great job. Reliable. I think it was great watching the scene that. So Peter Parker's love interest, spoiler alert, is the
Falcons.
Is the Falcons. The Falcon is the Vulture. So,
his love interest is Vulture's
dad or daughter.
Not Peter Parker isn't in love with Vulture.
So all the movie you can see like Peter Parker being like a nerd or shy, and then eventually getting the courage to ask her out, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, great," but. They're gonna open the door. Says they're gonna prom. Is it prom or homecoming?
Prom.
It's homecoming.
Homecoming, yeah.
So they're gonna go to homecoming, and he goes there and has like this sweet little moment with Aunt May. Goes to the door, and knocks in and opens the door as the Vulture. 80 in the theater was like, oh, yeah. And you can hear it.
Like, oh shit!
But it's one of those like you're in the, like, it was awesome being in the theater in that moment because it was like, I knew because I read beforehand that he was the parent of one of the girls. I thought it was going to be
Zendaya's dad.
Zendaya's, but I was wrong.
But I think the best part of that movie was, I mean, I love the action stuff, but that moment where Peter and Falcon are in the car together and his date goes up to the high school or whatever, and then they're sitting there talking, and like he's just like Peter's just glaring at him like, dude, what are you doing? And then like Falcon and him have that conversation. I think that was the best part of the whole movie, just because there's so much emotion and they conveyed it perfectly.
Yeah, I think they did a good job. Like, not because it was low key. It was a little bit.
Yeah, you heard that first, guys. It was low key.
I think it's a step above the villains of like Daredevil, but it's still a step down from the Iron Mans and the Thors. It wasn't
global apocalypse.
It wasn't global apocalypse. It wasn't just like petty crime or syndicate. It was more or less like these weapons were alien weapons, and the tinkerer or the toy maker who is gonna. This movie is filled of references. Like every single thing is a reference after a reference. But they basically did not know really how much power these things have, and they basically were trying to sell Iron Man's or Tony Stark's most precious.
To show back of this, we forgot to mention that in the beginning, of the first part of the episode or the movie, Falcon's friends, group, people, they're salvaging at the destruction of New York. They're cutting up everything, trying to make New York back to the way it is, and they're salvaging a lot of the alien stuff. And so what they're doing is they're taking the alien tech and they're trying to manipulate it to use in their advantage.
Well, that's how he becomes a villain. How he becomes a villain, he basically is the cleaning guy for the city. So he goes and starts disposing of the aliens that are there and all the alien materials. But Tony Stark creates this company, is the cleaning crew or the...
Yeah.
Basically, their job is to go be after superheroes and fix everything.
They actually have a comic based off of that about the cleanup after the Avengers. Mm-hmm. So I found that really awesome that they finally introduced it because, we see all these movies where you don't see, well, what the hell happens? Who cleans up after everything? And so they actually talk about who does that. And as the movie progresses, they even mention cleaning up Sokovia.
And basically this puts Vulture and his crew out of business. This makes him he's worried that where he's gonna get the money. So they decided to steal the equipment and steal the equipment that's useful for them and then sell it in the black market. But the last battle, I think it was great. It was fun. It was interesting. Michael Keaton.
Fantastic. That dude is such a good actor. The whole movie. I really liked how they chose. Is that his friend? Is he in the comic, or is that a new character they just created?
He's in the comics, but he's not how, and he's supposed to be a villain in the comics.
A villain?
Mm-hmm.
No. See, and I liked how they went with someone else other than Harry because I got just burnt out on the whole Harry Osborn crap.
Well, Harry Osborn should show up in the next movie.
I'm sure he will, but it's nice for them, kind of like same with the girlfriend. Like they didn't go with Gwen or MJ yet. They went with.
Well, I like it because Gwen and Mary Jane don't show up until he's in college, technically, in the comics. He has the girl shows up in the comics. She is technically one of the first love interests of Peter Parker. But there is a lot of references. Like I said, there is the Shockers in it, who's basically is the uncle of Miles Morales. He's mentioned in the movie that the Shocker has a cousin, has a nephew. There's also shown a Scorpio, who was the first Shocker in the movie. Then he's sent to prison and he wants to kill Peter Parker, and he's gonna be Scorpio. Mm-hmm. There's the.
Is he the one that?
At the end.
The one at the after credits where he's talking to Michael Keaton. That's Scorpio.
That's Scorpio, and he's the first Shocker, the first guy who had the Shocker equipment. There's Scorpio. There is a scene where the Vulture breaks everything on top of him, and he basically has to push himself up. That's in the comics. It's a really famous scene, Spider-Man 33, where basically he's falling and there's water, and he can't get up, and he has to basically
willpower, man,
and push it up. And that scene was, I think, my favorite part because it shows how good of an actor he was. Because it wasn't. You can tell that he portrayed that he was terrified. In that moment, he was Peter Parker. He was like, I'm gonna die here. He's like, help me! And he's screaming, and then he managed to push himself out of it and save the day. But it was such a great scene. But there's all small little references all through the movie that it could take days just to mention them all. One of the things I wasn't 100% sure if I liked it or not, but I think the more I think about it, the more I like it, I think, is Spider-Man's AI. Did you like it? You did not like her?
I liked it. I thought it was a nice twist because it's different. And I'll get into news later, but a lot of people were worried about his Spidey sense was not working and her taking the place of the Spidey sense. But the Spidey sense is there. They just didn't really introduce it into this movie. But I like it because I like the fact that I don't know, it's just a different twist. Like, how it's training him in a sense. Like, instead of Tony or someone being there, him training himself, she's in a sense training him. But
I like it for a different reason. I like it because it made Spider-Man in the comics talks a lot to himself. And it's because you can read his thoughts. I think this is an easy way to take that, to be able to be him talking like, with him being like funny and and being Spider-Man, because in the other two movies he doesn't talk. In the first one, the Tobey Maguire, he doesn't talk too much. He's pretty much quiet.
He's not normal Spider-Man.
And then in the second one they tried, but it failed miserably because he talks to other people.
And he's too serious.
Yeah, and here they got it. They got and true that it's with the addition of I forgot her name. I'm gonna call her Pepper, but I know it's not Pepper.
Are you talking about the voice?
Yeah.
Okay, so theory is that there is a program, and it's in the comics that there's a program that Tony created, and she actually becomes a love interest. She becomes like an android, kind of like Vision, and she is the love interest of Vision, and they eventually have children. But the
Vision has children with Scarlet Witch.
You see, and then like
it could have been that Ultron makes a female version of a female version.
No,
it
wasn't that. It was.
That's a thing up there.
But her AI, or the AI, is actually a program that's seen whenever, if you pause it, in Age of Ultron when he's trying to pick a new AI system.
Oh, Pepper.
It's not Pepper.
Friday.
It's not Friday. Friday is the one that he uses now.
Pepper is the...
It's not Pepper. It's a different one. And ironically, the actress who did the voice for Parker's suit is actually Paul Bettany, who plays the Vision, his wife in real life, which is Jennifer Connelly.
Huh. That's cool. I mean, we can figure it out, and if we do, we can see it in some other episode.
Yeah, but I like the AI. One of my other favorite thing about the movie is they finally show him, like, obviously they don't show him climbing up, like, swinging off such high buildings all the time, like you said, but I really thought it was cool when they showed the golf course, because they showed that Spider-Man's kind of pointless unless he's in a big city, you know what I mean? I mean, he's not pointless.
In this point, yes.
Yeah.
Once he learns a little bit better, no. Because Spider-Man, he is one of the top level Avengers.
Yeah.
You can put it in any situation.
Well, and he's a genius.
He's a genius. Well, he's a genius, but he's nowhere near Tony or
Bruce
or Reed Richards. But he's up there. He's I mean,
he's not like Wolverine.
Yeah, but he's not considered a top tier genius. He's a genius. But in World Comics, where Reed Richards and basically Tony Stark is in a weekend can cure cancer. You know what I mean? But or Doctor Doom, but he's more known for other aspects. But he's defeated a Wolverine. He defeated the Hulk. True, that it was with a joke to make him calm down and continue. But he's basically faced almost every single big enemy out there, and basically managed to defeat or surviving.
Oh, that's good.
So, but I mean, I liked it. It's a very Ultimate Spider-Man. I know it is. It's not so much the regular one.
He said he took it. Tom Holland. I was listening to the Nerdist podcast, and he said that a lot of what he went off of was the Ultimate Spider-Man. That's what he wanted to be, is along the lines of that one.
Yeah, it was very Ultimate Spider-Man from Mary Jane, Aunt May, figuring out who he is. I think
that was a great way to end the movie.
What
the fuck?
But it's always I think except in the 616, every other version knows that Spider-Man, Mary Jane knows Spider-Man is Peter Parker eventually. That's going on. It bothers me that in the movies, anybody and their brother know who Spider-Man is. That should be kept like a huge secret.
Well, yeah, like you mentioned in the...
Well, what's a humongous deal in Civil War when he released and say, "Hey, I'm Spider-Man," because like that's where most of the people who were his friends figure it out, and they were like, "What the fuck?" Here is like his best friend knows. Now Aunt May knows. The Vulture knows. It gets to the point of like, I don't know. I mean, I know why they do it is because they need to have that interaction with somebody and they need to have some screen time without being Spider-Man so they can see his face. Talking about that, I think it's really awesome, his suit. And I think it's really important how the mechanical eyes gave Spider-Man so much complexity that instead of the other two movies was so stigmatic with the eyes.
You see emotion.
You can see some emotion. You can it gives more.
Like when he falls, he's like, oh, his eyes are going all crazy. Like, oh shit! Like you could tell it's like an oh shit face. Versus, Tobey Maguire they don't really have emotion like that.
When they do it without the mask. Here they can do it, and it's if you see the comics, the artist did that. It wouldn't make sense to do it but they pull it off. I have to say that all my concerns were basically pretty much met.
I like the AI version. I really like her. She's like, all right, initiating kill mode. No, we don't want to get kill mode.
Yeah, Spider-Man tries to not kill. That's his motto. That's what makes him unworthy of Thor's hammer. That's the only reason. Because he will not kill if he will not kill, and that's why he cannot lift the hammer.
Oh, because Thor will kill if necessary.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Thor will kill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe they toned him down a little bit in the movies, but in the show, he will kill. Like he has no problem whatsoever.
That suit was pretty awesome at the end of the movie.
The iron suit.
The iron, yeah.
I was happy he didn't take it because I was like, so far this is my favorite suit. I'm between that and Spider-Man, the game, the PlayStation.
Oh.
Those two suits are pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you hear any? Well, so what would you give the movie?
I'm biased. I'm gonna give it a good old 4 and almost 5 stars. It's in the top 3 Marvel movies.
I would give it at least 4 3/4. It was one of the best Marvel movies and probably the best Spider-Man movie out there. I love the first Spider-Man movie, the Tobey Maguire one, but
the second Spider-Man 2
the Doc
was
Ock one is awesome. But this still, the fact that like he's actually finally Peter Parker. He is the actual Spider-Man.
He's gonna keep being a kid.
Yeah.
For another, at least have one more movie. I can see one more movie and then maybe college. But where would you rate it in your top?
Well, Guardians is my first.
Okay, so
Guardians is my first. Avengers 2. Or not Avengers 2. First Avengers. And then I would probably do this. Maybe 3 out of all the movies. I don't know. I would probably tie it with Winter Soldier. Because Winter Soldier is just so fucking good. And Civil War is fucking good. I would probably put in my... So
there's... for me, there's like always Iron Man is in the... I love Iron Man 1.
It's good, but it's not Guardians good. I mean, what... I mean, I get that. I mean, that's... Yeah.
I like Iron Man better than Guardians.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just because you can't have Guardians without having Iron Man.
Agreed. I love Iron Man. Tony's my favorite.
And if you see Thor, the first Thor, you can see the Eye of Agamotto, you can see the Gauntlet with Infinite Stones. Marvel didn't think it was gonna be this big.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't show those, now it's... But I think Iron Man is number 1. Winter Soldier.
Yeah, such a good fucking
Spider-Man, movie. Homecoming. And then I'm going to go with Guardians, Avengers. And then it just...
For me, I think it would be... I have my third place is just... Avengers is one of my favorite movies. And that... Winter Soldier and Civil War, all 3 of those movies are just fucking home runs. But Yeah.
It's hard. It's Marvel does a good job in their movies.
So I would say no, that's right. So I would say for me it would be Guardians, Avengers 1, and then Spider-Man, Civil War, and Winter Soldier, because those just the little stuff they put into those movies is just so good.
But any news lately?
Oh, massive news.
All right. Well, let's open the Daily Bugle.
Did you read any about it? Did you hear any about this? The trailer they played at D23 this weekend?
I know it was I didn't hear anything about it. I know that they were anybody except
I was right.
Captain America, and
I was right about when they had that preview with the Avenger,
that he's wearing the suit.
Yeah, they said in the trailer he's wearing the iron suit.
Okay,
but they said the funny part is so how it opened. The trailer opens is they have and I'm pretty sure the reason why they haven't released it is because they're releasing it this weekend because of Comic-Con. We'll have a full Comic-Con podcast next time. Not next time, but next time we record. Because there's going to be a shit ton of news coming out of that. But I'm pretty sure they're going to release it then. And they, basically, it starts off with where the Guardians were at the end of Guardians 2. And they're flying, and all of a sudden they literally fucking hit Thor with their spaceship in the middle of space because whatever he's on at the end of Thor blows up or something, but he hits them and they're like, what the hell is that? And then Thor's like, who the hell are you guys? And so then it goes and it shows Thanos being Thanos and saying being a badass,
doing Thanos things.
Yes. And then and then it shows them fighting. It shows Tony, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange fighting Thanos. But Tony has a new set of armor. He built another Hulkbuster armor, but it's for Thanos, which is funny because it's not going to do anything. But they also show
well, Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet is not as powerful. You can defeat him.
But no, this is him with the Infinity Gauntlet.
And if it has the Infinity Gauntlet, it's gone.
They showed him there's a part where he's fucking with the Avengers and he has the gauntlet on him and he just shows him how powerful he is and he takes it and he moves a moon right next to the planet.
I wonder if they're gonna do ultimate gauntlets instead of 616. There's more than one gauntlet in the Ultimate Universe. So there's I think 10 rings. There's 10 stones so that you can put 2 gauntlets.
They're just doing one.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
But then that means Vision has to die.
Paul Bettany said, of course he could be just fucking with people, but he said in an interview after D23, he said that there's a chance that Vision doesn't die, which doesn't make sense because the only reason why Vision is alive is because of that stone, the Mind Stone.
Well, I mean, I'll be fine with having an ultimate, go with an ultimate with 2 or to get something different. I mean, you don't need to have the 5,
They're going to have to introduce...
in the Ultimate Universe, Hulk gets power gets the gauntlet and uses it.
Oh, wow.
But he doesn't use it correctly. He only uses it to regenerate himself. So basically, they blow his head off and he just goes and regrows it. And he just beats the crap out of people. But that's Ultimate Hulk. That has nothing to do with regular Hulk. Yeah,
I'm interested to see where they're going to go because... That's why I'm excited. They have the Avengers cast. They came up on stage minus. They didn't have Ant-Man up there. They didn't have ScarJo. And they didn't have Chris Pratt up there.
And one of the directors. And one of the directors, I think. One was
missing. Yeah, the other Russo brother was in. They were still...
The less known Russo brother.
But...
Bobby Russo.
Yeah, because I think now they're in post for this movie because they should start filming... Either any day now or in September.
That would have to suck to be, I mean...
They're filming both of these Avengers movies.
Yeah, back to back, I think.
Yeah, so I think they started filming this week. Or they're taking this week off and starting next week.
But before we is there any other more news?
That was the big news, is that trailer dropped.
So what movie are you most excited in the Marvel? In the here to whenever?
What am I most excited about? Both Infinity War movies, because they teased Adam Warlock and Guardians, and if they follow the comics at all, I mean, Adam Warlock is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
I really hope they introduce it. And obviously, they didn't have Captain Marvel come out on Avengers, which is funny because we all know that she's going to be in it. But
I think they're trying to hide her appearance.
Unless she's going to be in the second one.
I think they're hiding her appearance.
Yeah.
Because she's going to have like the Mohawk or something.
But
I'm Black Panther, by far. I'm more excited for Black Panther than...
Infinity War. The reason why I'm so excited for Infinity War is because I just cannot wait to see everyone's banter together. Like, I want to see Drax and Tony interact with each other. I want to see Spider-Man.
But yes, remember, your top pick isn't the one we're all about. With anybody is. So sometimes when you have, it could be a good fun movie, but normally your top picks are individual. There hasn't been Avengers or Civil War or Ultron. It's been
Guardians.
And
I agree with that.
So I'm in the same boat. I'm unlike the individual films. I think a little bit better, and I'm fucking stoked for fucking Black Panther. It looks fucking awesome.
It looks amazing. I'm really excited.
It looks I mean, maybe it's because I haven't seen anything for Infinity.
Yeah.
But Infinity Gauntlet is not my favorite storyline. So that's why
I agree. It's not one of my. I've read it and it's good, but it's not. The fact of all of them together.
But that was but that's with all of them together was almost Civil War. You're adding a few bits and pieces here and there.
They're just my favorite group.
But
I'm so excited for that.
I feel it's gonna be Black Panther is gonna blow it out of the water.
I'm just excited that we don't have to wait. We don't have to wait for Defenders and Avengers. We at least get Defenders next month, which is fucking awesome. All right, well, follow us.
Do you have any funny little questions?
No, but I actually do have something funny. I was talking to a guy at work today. I realized why I don't like Superman. And this is how I phrased it. I said, you have this guy who's all powerful, and anything he can't be beat. He's so powerful. He's like a god. But then you have some fucking kid that just takes a glowing green rock and throws it at his face, and then Spider-Man's like, "Oh, I'm dead."
It doesn't work like that. I get what you're saying, but if it's that they need to make him a weakness. That's why the green rock. And
or you could just actually give him real weaknesses and not
magic. He's weak to magic.
I fucking hate Superman.
He's not one of my favorites, and
he is literally my most hated superhero.
But he created. He's gonna be there.
That's another story.
Alright, follow us on Two Ordinary Nerds
on YouTube, Twitter,
Facebook.
Cheers.
Cheers.